IVM.
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. All right, Cyrus says, and I've got a lovely guest all the way in Jamshedpur waiting for us. Before I jump in, a quick rant on pillows. I hope she agrees with me. I know India, Garib Desh hai and all that is very important, but there are problems we are not discussing and we should bring it to the forefront from time to time. One is how spouses share their pillows, especially if it's an odd number. If you have 3 or 5 pillows, it can cause a lot of trouble in a relationship. I've been dealing with that for many years now, and I find that I always get the lesser number. So in that sense, I'm the minority, no pun intended. I just want to put it out there that we need to find a solution to odd number of pillows in a bedroom. While we do deal with all the other casteism and communalism and nuclear proliferation and the COVID vaccine and all these bimaris that are going around, we must also remember to look at the smaller problems which will destroy us. Pillows. I just put that out there.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.
And now let's meet Ragini Kumar, who's going to tell us why she's in Jamshedpur. Apparently she's visiting family, and we'll get into that. But first, let me tell you that she's got a very, very big biodata, and begins with the fact that she was in charge of, I think, 2 or 3 of the World Cups, cricket World Cups. And as a cricket nut, that makes me very, very happy to know. We'll go into that. She's worked at Star Sports, still is at Star Sports, executive producer. So if you want a job in Star Sports in this poor economy, she's the one to talk to. Talk to her, send your resume as quickly as possible. She's a TEDx speaker, charges crores of rupees for that. From Hindu College, always interesting to find out Hindu-Stephen rivalry. But first and foremost, let's go back and find out where she started, how it all happened, and what she's doing in Jamshedpur, which used to be called Tata Nagar. Hi, Ragini. Welcome to our crappy show.
Hey, Cyrus, couldn't be happier. Crappy or not, I love your podcast, and I can't believe I'm a guest on it. Thrilled, absolutely thrilled.
Not only you're a guest, but first off, before I forget, the most important thing is you'll be on IVM yourself, a huge network, which is no less than Star Sports in our reach.
Absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. Yes, I couldn't believe that it's happening. And it's interesting that we're doing this podcast with you today, because just a few hours ago, I finally recorded the last part of the program, the new podcast that's coming. It's going to be part of IVM. It's called Zindagi Diaries. It has poems and short stories that I've written over the years for last decade or so.
Wow.
And interestingly, Cyrus, they're all in Hindi and Hindustani, a lot of Urdu words, a lot of Hindi words, which I have used. And I used to keep writing. And in fact, another person who's on the IVM family's Maharukh, who does another podcast, she and I are friends.
Right.
And she heard my poem, and, that's how I got introduced to IVM family. And they really like my poems, and it's going to launch on the 10th of December. So I'm very, very excited.
Can we call it a new genre, Hindustani classical poetry?
It's not classical. It's not classical. Poetry, it's very, I think it's urban. And it's more about, it's very nostalgic.
So what's the thing here? Are people scared and intimidated by strong Urdu, so highfalutin Hindi and all that? Or are people drawn to it because it's like, a sense of intellectual capacity going up? What's the deal with that?
My Urdu is very, it's not very hi-fi. All the Urdu that I've picked up is actually from Hindi films.
Oh, I thought from Pakistani cricketers sledging Indians while you're at Star Sports. Oh, well bowled, Saki, well bowled.
Yourself.
I love that. I use it all the time, the yourself.
So, exactly. I say yourself.
It makes a lot of sense. It saves a few sentences, yaar. You are not only in cricket terms. You just tell someone you want them to do something, just get... Sorry.
Yourself.
let me not interrupt. So,
Yeah. Can you get me an apple yourself?
yourself. That's fabulous. To the point.
Yeah.
It's also Urdu in a sense. Yeah, no, so I'm just asking the idea, what do you think is the lure for people? Is it more because it's an artistic endeavor and that side of the person wants to get in touch with what you're presenting, or what is it?
I think it's a few things put together. The language, yes, because you're so used to listening to English podcasts. When you listen to a podcast, and you listen to some words that maybe you heard somewhere, or your father or your mother used to say those words, or your teacher said that word. I think it takes you back in time. Every word has that texture, that feeling that takes you back, and you connect to something. As I said, and a lot of my poems are about nostalgia. I've written about my childhood. I've written about some lost friendships, and just growing up, being a couple in an urban city in Mumbai. Just a lot of those things, very heartfelt. And I've been writing, as I said, for a decade, and finally all these poems, this collection will be out on 10th of December, as we discussed. So I think it's going to be a lot of familiarity. And I think that kind of, you'll probably find something that you'll connect to and you had forgotten for so many years. And maybe you heard something or you felt something when you'll hear those poems and short stories that you'll relate to. Yeah, I think I felt like this 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Or, I haven't felt like this. Maybe I should do something different.
No, but again, I hope I don't take this the wrong way in any way, but you're an urban sort of phenomenon. You're a person who works in the big metropolis and all that. Yet you're writing your innermost thoughts in Hindi, and perhaps very polished Hindi. So I'm just thinking, is that really you, or what is your mind language? Like when you abuse someone, what do you say?
Question.
Do you say MCBC? Do you say bloody fool? I mean, that tells you your mind language. Like the mind starts on its own.
You're so right. You're so right. When I fight with my husband, which is very rare.
I used galis and straight away marriage came up.
I know. That's the real me. That's the real me.
Yeah. Be careful. Yeah.
So I think when my husband and I argue, it's always English. But if I'm having a disagreement with my parents, it's Hindi. So I think it's a bit of both.
You're true bilingual is what you're saying.
Yeah, I've been very comfortable. Yes, I've been comfortably bilingual, if that's the way I can put it. And yeah, thought process, sometimes I struggle to find the English word for the Hindi feeling and vice versa.
I'll tell you a quick cutaway from here. I remember working with the great Amitabh Bachchan for the first time in an ad film, and I went into his trailer.
Was it Dairy Milk?
Not Dairy Milk. What did we do? Pepsi. And I remember going into the trailer, and because he called me, and he had newspapers. There was early morning. Ek Hindi paper, ek English paper, and he was reading both almost simultaneously, like one to the other. And I couldn't resist. So I said, "Sir, but ye bhi padta hai." So he said, I want to be in touch with my languages. So I read the newspaper in Hindi and in English every day. Because I think he also is truly bilingual. So it's easy for him to go from one to the other. Probably even similar articles, this cricket match or whatever. Yeah. It was fascinating.
So, I think I hold both language very dear to me. And yes, I really enjoy the fact that I could read something in English and enjoy it, and read something in Hindi and enjoy that as well. And again, movies, Hindi lyrics, very old Hindi lyrics, had a lot of Urdu, Hindustani in it.
Before Choli Ke Piche Kya Hai and Darde Disco, and changed it slightly.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that happened because I grew up in a joint family in Delhi. Lots of us together, grandparents, chacha, chachi, my parents, siblings, blah, blah, blah. And the best part about our household was everybody was allowed to watch television whenever they wanted. And there were a few, okay, and you could sneak into the other room and say, okay, now I'll watch this and watch that. I think because of which I saw a lot of Chitrahar and a lot of sport. Sport was something which was on in every television, in any room. So I guess that's how I got into sport. It didn't leave me, and it was always on, and everybody was interested.
Chitrahar, what lovely memories you're giving me. Meenakshi Shishadri running into one out of one frame in one sari and coming into the next frame in the next sari. And I mean, those were beautiful days. What was that? Rishi Kapoor.
This is what I'm saying, that when you hear some words, it just takes you back to that moment.
Correct,
so that's what I plan to do. I hope
sorry, but for me, growing
Yeah,
up
go for
80s
it.
and 90s, I have a lot of nostalgia and romantic feel to old quintessential India with the one TV
Yeah,
and all of us fighting over
yeah,
it, like you said. The same
yeah,
5 programs, there was not much choice. There
right.
was Chitrahar, there was, I think, Chai Geet, there was Sunday Hindi film, there was some
Yeah.
Star Trek, one English program in the morning somewhere, and there was that Narottam Puri sports program, I remember. He
Yes,
would ask questions on sports. Uh,
correct.
that is one thing I remember. So I think of all those.
True.
Now look at how spoiled we are. I mean, really, we can actually
Now
watch
I can't decide. I can't
a.
decide because I'm like, there's so many choices. Earlier, just sit in front of the Doordarshan, whatever served, you take it.
This is why
And
I
that made
prefer.
life simple.
This is why the arranged marriage works better than a love marriage. Just whatever serve, you take it and end it. You don't have to go every day. Yaar, dekho bhai, usko dekh, usko dekh, usko dekh, usko dekh. It doesn't end that way. But no,
Yeah.
Ragini, I love the fact that you're very few people, I think, let me praise you a little bit. Very few people
Wow.
are
Let me
actually
brace myself. Let me get ready.
no,
Yeah.
true
Okay.
to themselves. I love the fact that you're not thinking about whether people will listen or not listen, here or not here, whether this is you. You're just expressing yourself. I love that. I think that's a truly artistic
Thank you.
note. And I wish more Indians were less complex about who they are and where they come from and
Yeah.
what they stand for and enjoy themselves. Half the time is everybody wants to be somebody else. It seems to be a
True.
subcontinental disease. So that's
But
great.
subcontinental
Don't you
disease.
feel कि हम लोग, I don't know, I don't want to say that the oppressors from outside have come and
Yeah.
forced this and that, but we're never proud of who we are. Like, I speak Hindi like a boy from South Bombay with Parsi antecedents. I'm shooting a Hindi
Yeah.
film. It's all
Wow.
over the place, yeah, at the moment. But I really have fun. Like, I'm the only one who's
Yeah.
all complex, but everybody else is correcting me. Gahi nahi gaya. Okay, fine. I mean, I like Kapil Dev that way. In the old
Yeah.
days when his English was poor, he would just speak. He didn't care.
Correct.
But he had that
Correct.
was fantastic. He would just promote himself like that. Something.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of those kind of people. I just think they're the nicest and happiest people in the
So,
world.
yeah, a lot of cricketers, right, that era who did not know how to speak very well. So they would shy away from getting the man of the match because they're like, if we get
Yeah.
man of the match, we'll have
Bolna
to go to
padega.
the presentation
Yeah.
and answer questions in English. Like, main nahi ja raha, main
And
nahi ja raha.
intricate questions. Yeah. Pehla 15 overs mein kya hua and all. They will think. Yeah, true. I think also the Pakistani and Bangladeshi boys would have the same problem. Sri Lankans as well. Yeah. True.
True.
All right. So now let's. So that's one thing. That's the show. So these are already things that you've written down. The thoughts have been penned already, or you're doing them. You've got a bank.
Yeah, I created a bank. As I said, I started writing many, many years ago, and then I just started writing more. The lockdown kind of helped. I had more time to write and I had more time to, interact with the IVM family, and they told me to tweak a few things, and we went over a lot of rehearsals. And finally I did manage to get a bank, some very urban thoughts, some, as I said, nostalgia, mostly nostalgia, because I think, during the lockdown, it gave me time to think about
Reflect.
a lot of things, which didn't exist in my universe at that time. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, when I was younger, I knew this person and I loved her for this, or I knew that person and I wonder where he is, and then start stalking that person on Instagram or Twitter. That also happened. But yes, it's a collection of 19 poems, and they're all ready. They've all been recorded, and I'm so glad that it's worked out well. They're all in Hindi with some Urdu words. And yeah, I hope everyone enjoys them.
I'm sure they will. You speak about nostalgia. I'm just thinking of Delhi. Growing up, my cousins are in Delhi, so we used to go there in the summers. And for me, the big fascination was Nirulas, because we didn't have such a big chain. You remember this? You must remember. Come on, you're a Delhi girl.
Remember is an understatement. My younger brother, who still lives in Delhi, every time he orders a tub of 21 Love ice cream from Nirula's, he'll send me a picture to irritate me, because he knows how much I love it and how much I love Nirula's and how much we miss it. Of course, I can write thesis on Nirula's.
Yes, I would listen to a poem on Nirula's, because I feel that connection. We were thinking about it, the journey going there and all that. Nirula's.
Yeah.
It was like this.
They had this thing where you would put in your birthday, say my birthday is XYZ date, and they would post you a free ice cream coupon. So obviously, kids being kids, and we were three of us, three siblings, we would put farji details. This day, that day, every day.
This is before Aadhaar card. They can't find it.
Okay, so then obviously that lady, we used to go to the same Nirula's, obviously not going around the city. So that lady once said, "आप पहले भी आए थे ना?" मैंने कहा नहीं, वो मेरी ना बहन के लिए, वो बहुत छोटी है, वो आ नहीं सकती, वो गाड़ी में. He's like, "ठीक है, कुछ नहीं होता, I'll wait. Get somebody else. Get an adult, and then I'll give you the ice cream." Because
Wow.
of course we were, making the best of that scam.
So what is better, telling the story of how deep the connection of Nirula's with 80s and 90s generation of urban Indians is, or the fact that Jugaad and Delhi has to go together? Even if you're 3 siblings, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, it starts there and it runs deep.
It does. You bet. Yes, I think you can't take that away from
I'm so
us.
glad. I hope you remember all these little incidents. I think this is the thing about India which we don't promote. How we grew up, the fun. You're in Jamshedpur, it has its own memories, and the quirks and all our little cities and the different decades that we come from. I hope somebody relates that, because otherwise
I hope
suddenly
it becomes more contextual than what is right now. So that breaks my heart, but I don't know what to do about it.
It's okay. Today is today. I'm not saying that we should only live in yesterday, but I don't think you shouldn't forget yesterday, because it's fun. When you're telling me this Nirula's thing, all kind of memories are coming back to me, including flavors, smells are coming back.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as you said, we are spoiled so much now. Baskin Robbins and Baskin's Bop and Mom and everything, the brands that are available, Amazon, blah, blah, blah. But then it was like an oasis. And for Mumbaikars, we had Friendly Ice Cream and Joy Ice Cream. They're all small little brands.
Oh, yeah?
Very small, Nirula, size staff and lots of flavors. So, you're like the supermarket now of ice cream, not that one.
And for Nirula's, you had to know like how you should know what to do at an airport. The same thing you should know what to do at a Nirula's. Where do you go first? And then what do you do? How do you place the order? Then you come back. Then you check for your order number. Then you go back and get your order. It's like getting through the customs at the airport. You have to know what to do.
For Delhi, it must be irritating. For Mumbaikars and people outside Delhi, it was fun, because this whole thing was like a huge process, and it just made it sound more mythical. The whole
we loved it. We loved it. We absolutely loved it.
God,
and the
how we've gone from Urdu poetry to Nirula's and how you do jugaad to get the happy birthday free scoop. And I'm sure you'd ask them for extra second scoop and all that. Of course, is normal.
No, that was never allowed.
They never gave a second
got that one scoop. No, it was only one scoop. I told you, and then I got caught. Like, okay, where is that girl? Get your sister. We'll wait for an adult to come. After that, I said, okay, only on my birthday. I'm not doing this anymore.
How sad. What if you're twins and one person is actually sick? They'll never believe it.
Yeah. They'll never believe it. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back after this break.
Hi guys, this is Ayushi.
And I am Ritasha.
And welcome to Agla Station Adulthood.
It's a fun podcast we've got going on, and we'd love for you to tune in and enjoy with us.
Join us as we stop at various stations and discuss different topics that seem to be bothering us, and hopefully
dating,
you as well.
Relationships, beauty, just being an adult, lots of different things.
We don't have a great grip on it, but we've done okay so far.
Catch Agla Station Adulthood every Thursday on the IVM app, the IVM website, or wherever else you get your podcasts.
Now, can we go back a little bit to your other career, which is... I also read, firstly, let's go back to Hindu College, which I have, when I was in NDTV, I covered Hindu College a lot. So, got to spend a lot of time between Hindu and Stephens as the two big colleges and the rivalry, etc. Take us back to that a little bit and tell us your early days and how Ragini Kumar, by the way, no relation of Praveen Kumar, right? The cricketer. Okay. Shall we do all the Kumars? Akshay Kumar? Nahin. Kishore Kumar and Ashok Kumar, the legendary. No. Take it. All right.
No, when I was in school,
Nitish Kumar, you're not far away.
I'm not far away, and it's good to be on the winning side. No, but when I was in school, I used to get asked that, are you from the S. Kumar family? Because that time that was famous, and those ads and newspaper ads would come.
Again, I would remind nostalgia. Of course, S. Kumar. So many
That's what I do. So I was always asked if I was related to those Kumars, but no. So school was modern school.
Oh, all the rich kids go to modern school. I remember covering that. They were the first ones on mobile phones. We covered that in the 90s. The modern school, bachcho ke paas, because it became a controversial issue that only the school kids had it in the, others.
I think I was in modern at that time when, I was in, I think 10th, 11th.
One of those rich spoiled kids. But
I said when the kids got mobile phones, and then it was an issue. I remember being in school at that time when I was in the 11th, I think.
You're an artist with pathos and emotion. You're not the one with sitting on the phone going, hey, Bhairavi, kab aayegi ghar pe? I hope not. Yeah.
No, I get bored. I get bored very easily. That's the thing. I just can't
Nothing wrong with
sustain
that.
one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get bored very easily. I would just, that's why I invent things and do different things. So no, schooling was modern school, Barakhamba. So close ties with Delhi and, growing up in Delhi and all of that. Then I went to Hindu college. And as you rightly said, yes, if you're a Hindu, that Stevens rivalry is amazing. And because I always enjoyed sports, so I used to watch all the basketball and the cricket games, the cricket matches that happened between Hindu and
Jadeja is from Hindus. Ajay Jadeja, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. But he's senior. He's obviously way older.
No one saying he's not the same batch. Don't worry. Roshan Abbas also. I'm trying to remember the people that we.
Gautam Gambhir was around
Gambhir.
when
My God.
when I was around. So he obviously never came to college much, but
those are the
he
days
was
when the
there.
star athlete was given all the privileges and didn't have to attend and all. I think that's gone now.
Yeah. So yeah, it was interesting because we would cheer for our team when they played Stevens. By the way, when I was in college, Hindu always beat Stevens in cricket.
That's what they all say.
No, we did. And I loved being, the supporter and screaming and getting banners ready. And it was amazing. It was so good that we got to see this good rivalry, the healthy rivalry that made you a better player. I didn't play any sport, but I could see that in the cricketers and the basketball players. I used to dance and debate. So
at the same time? That would be a new genre. Interesting.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And again, Hindu gave us a lot of freedom. The college gave us a lot of freedom to do whatever, you wanted to do apart from studies. And yeah, it was great. I had the best friendships, I think, in Hindu college. So
But then
it was
you
fantastic.
Did you go straight to NDTV from there? What was the...
I did. Yes, I did. In fact, there was a reporter who came to do some education story in Hindu college. And I was like, why are you
Gargi.
No, not Gargi. It was Kranti Sambhav. It was someone else. So he came and I took his number down. I said, I really want to join NDTV and something. And I was just asking people. And you're right. Actually, the other person gave me Gargi's number only. And I spoke to Gargi and I said, you are right. Intuition. And he said, I have my friend Gargi. And I gave Gargi a call. And she said, just come and drop your CV at the front office. I said, we all know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop your CV to the front office and then forget about it.
And you'll never see it again. And that's it.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it anyway.
But she
Luckily,
called you
I got
back,
a call. No, someone else did from the production team. They called me and they said, we don't have anything content related on the desk, but production. I say, I'll take it, whatever you have in the PCR. I'll take it. He said, okay, English. I said, ma'am, can I please join the Hindi PCR? She said, are you sure? Like exactly like that. Are you sure?
Oh
I'm
my
giving you
God.
English. Why do you want Hindi? Modern school, Hindu college. What is this? I said, no, I want to be in the Hindi PCR.
Why were you anti-English? You just felt they were...
No, I wasn't. I think I loved the language and I didn't realize it so much at that time. But there was something inside me wanting to tell that person that please don't put me in English. I want to learn more of Hindi and more of writing in Hindi.
There seems to be some karmic...
I know. Thankfully,
pulling you back to the Hindi.
Yeah, and thankfully, NDTV at that time had Hindi, because earlier it was mostly English when we were growing up watching news.
Yeah.
Hindi was just DD and Aaj Tak. And I got to the Hindi production control room and I would learn how to produce live news. And then I got bored and I said, I want to anchor now. So I started as a weather anchor. I would do Hindi and English weather reports. And then I got bored. I said,
Because weather knows no language. You just have to say, Tufan. That's it.
Ami.
So you were in front of camera.
Yes, after I learned how it happens behind the scenes, how you put live news on air or, what do anchors do when they can't listen, when they can't understand, how does a camera work, what do you cut to if your anchor is not ready, all those things I was picking up. And then I said, okay, now I want to anchor. Mujhe to sab aa gaya. It's very simple. I can do it. So I started as a weather anchor and then I said, chalo, mujhe sab aa gaya. Ab I want to do reporting. And I started reporting a little. And straight away, my eye was on the sports desk. Always. And then I just requested them.
One last question on the weather.
Sure.
What if you say barish aayegi and all that? You've given the whole barish thing and tufan and all that, and it doesn't happen.
Luckily, in those days, no one had my number or Instagram profile or Twitter profile, so it didn't matter.
So what do you think because you're going to sports next, what was the success rate of calling out the weather correctly?
50-50 at any given
That's
day.
damn cool, man. That's fun.
50-50 at any given day. Like I would even ask those guys, sir, आपने ये data भेजा था, इसके हिसाब से तो कुछ भी नहीं हुआ आज. आप कह रहे थे ऐसे होगा. मैडम आप कर दीजिए ना मैडम कर दीजिए.
What are you saying? All the data is all nonsense.
It's not nonsense. I mean, it's hard to predict.
Yeah.
It's not 2 + 2 will be 4.
Changes
it can be
happen.
5, it can
some
be 5.
cloud is moving, then the cloud gets caught in some traffic and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like बंगाल की खाड़ी में इतने डिप्रेशन हुए थे, वो कभी बारिश होती नहीं थी.
Actually, this is a political statement or? Cool. Sorry. So then you go to the sports desk because you've had this fascination for sports.
Yeah.
And you said you don't play it actually. You're more debater and answer.
Yeah.
But you like watching it. You were following cricket.
Yeah. I think TV, the whole thing of, TV, because everything you're watching through television, I was growing with the television. So I think being in television, inside the TV and learning how that works, I think that was more, something I was more curious about that. And in that, if I had to choose, I chose sports.
Right. So then they let you get to the sports desk next? What is a...
Yes. I did. I managed. They were all very helpful, very supportive bunch of people, lovely people there who helped me and said, yes, okay, here you go. Now you can anchor, you can edit, you can write scripts, you can make run orders.
I think Sunny was on NDTV for a long time, if I remember correctly.
Sherry was.
Yes. Sherry was in both in the English.
And Ajay Jadeja, who we mentioned.
Ajay Jadeja, you're right.
Yeah.
That was even some experience.
Yeah. So those days I learned so much just by being in the newsroom. In those days I was 21 and I would just see the likes of Rajdeep and Barkha and Sonali Chandar and Afsha, all these people around me, Nidhi Kulpati and Nidhi Razan, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and in those days,
they get better than that.
First generation of anchors were all stars in a sense. I think everyone knew their names. Their faces were very visible to middle class India across the country, etc. But then I've read somewhere in the biodata you went to Times Now.
I did.
And worked under the greatest Indian the world has ever seen.
I did, yes.
Oh my God.
I did.
This is before he became a rock star in Taloja jail and came out and did Don't Cry For Me Argentina with his hands.
True, very true.
What was that like?
This was in 2009 till 11. 2009 and 2011 because I got married and I moved to Bombay and I had to look for work in Bombay, and Times Now was Bombay headquarters and they were looking for a sports anchor, luckily at that time for me. And I joined and I had heard stories about how different it is from NDTV. NDTV was the place I grew up in and I was like looked after and, everyone supported me. They said it's going to be the complete opposite. But I said, I'm getting the job of a primetime anchor. I'm not going to take it. So it was different. It was very different. But
come on, bol to sahi. Tell us a little bit.
It was very different. So in NDTV, everything was like structure, follow. And this I'm talking about 2008. That far back. You had to see what footage has come. You had to log it, and then you had to give it to somebody. He would see it. Then it would get edited. Then something would be written about it. And then after, say, 45 minutes, it would go on air. In Times Now, it would go directly on air and then you figure the process out.
Wow.
Which I thought was very revolutionary. It was great because news was about urgency. News was about urgency, right? It's important to show the visual. So I think that was something that completely turned my world because I was used to following that procedure, and here it was anti-procedure. Just put the news on air first and then we'll see. So that was a roller coaster ride. I loved it so much. It was difficult. It was a difficult working environment. I would say that. But
tempers were...
always. Like Monday, ask anybody who's worked in Times and they'll tell you the real feeling of going to office on a Monday. Yeah. We know this the best. No one else knows it as much as we do who have worked in Times in those days. I really don't know anything now. But those days it was, tempers used to flare.
Let's put it this way. Would you rather he got bail or didn't get bail?
No comments. I was in Dubai.
This one answer will
I was in Dubai at that time. Very busy.
Yeah. Match referee will not be happy, not giving us any kind of initiative here. Okay, let's fast forward so we don't run out of time into the
Sure.
Star Sports avatar now.
Yeah.
And where you are right now. But before that, you covered, I think, 2015 Australia World Cup. Was that the first big one?
Yes,
Where
yes,
Australia
that's
beat
right.
New Zealand in the final, if I remember correctly. And we didn't have we reached the semis. Yeah.
We reached the semis, yes.
Yeah.
So I covered Australia. I mean, I was in Australia producing shows, but I was not doing a lot of India matches. I did the India matches later, but I was doing all the other games. And it was a lot of fun because it gave me, again, you were learning on the job. You were making mistakes, but you were learning. It was an out-of-the-world experience. There was a Sri Lanka-Pakistan game. This is a Champions Trophy story.
Champions Trophy 2017, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Tell us. Because I saw the final live. So I have better memory of that. Yeah.
So I think I was covering Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and I was, just looking for someone in the VIP boxes. I think Sania Mirza was there and her father was there. So I just wanted to go and say hi. They were there. I was looking for them and I couldn't find them. And suddenly I heard someone saying, "Ma'am, what a game today. Your team has played so well. Ma'am." I'm like, I don't see any other ma'am. Is she talking to me? I turned and said, "Ma'am, your team played so well. I said, "Me?
India, Pakistan, bhai, come on, take it."
So he's like, Pakistan. He's like, and he was obviously a Sri Lankan. He was saying, "Ma'am, your team's played so well." So I was like, "Okay, thank you. Yeah, all right. Yeah, great. Okay." So at that time I realized that it's a game of cricket and it's about the better players. It's not about India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. It's just what you love, watching those players.
Sports lovers cannot be racist. If you really like the sport, it won't happen. That's a very lower form of enjoyment. Those who just get into the jingoism of sport.
I mean, I did feel a little awkward the minute he said your team. But I said, he's saying that there was good cricket on the field. I'll take it any day.
Yeah. And they did win. They won the final. And if I remember correctly, we beat them in the opening game and then they beat us. Really, 340 they made. I remember we watched it. And with lots of Pakistanis and Indians. Yeah, at Oval, Surrey, with my kids and everything. Had a great time.
Nice.
I must say, all got along really well. Unlike football crowds, cricket crowds actually are really good fun. They're well behaved.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Outside, you get to see that only outside our country now. Because we don't see it now. But if you see this in Australia and even in Dubai, when we were in Dubai, a lot of the staff was Pakistani.
Yeah.
So
they love us.
Yeah. And I'm still getting messages from them. Have you reached home? Is your husband fine? Is your son okay? Are you happy? Miss you? How's everything? Blah, blah, blah. So it's amazing.
It's amazing. Indians and Pakistanis abroad, I mean, it's like another country of friendship. I've not had one bad experience with a subcontinental person from any of our areas outside India. It's just,
you're so right.
They're always bonding. But then, so 17, you covered the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
And did you get close to the Indian team? Because now you're this hotshot producer, you're most important network. I mean, you're seeing the same faces, they're seeing you.
Yeah. So, of course, you get to know a lot of players. And especially, in an India tour and especially ICC tour, you might not get to spend so much time with them as much as you do during the IPL.
Right.
IPL, there's more access. IPL, you get to meet the players more. You get to, spend more time with them. Like last year, I traveled with the Delhi Capitals through the IPL.
Wow.
So, of course, I made a lot of friends with the Delhi boys.
So, Shreyas Iyer and you are very close now.
We are good friends, I have to say that. And, of course, and he did fabulously this year. I'm so happy. I was so happy.
Did he call you and check on you? How is your family and all that? Like the Pakistani guys' attendance in Dubai. I mean, let's see the difference here. Does Shreyas call? Does he bother to call?
Yes, we do exchange messages. We do. Yes, he's in Australia currently and he did ask if I'm okay. And we do exchange.
And he might very well play the red ball test matches as well now, it looks like.
As we are hearing.
Nobody's talking about how successful this IPL has been, not from a point of view of money and all, I'm sure 3,000 crores, etc. But the fact that without a COVID case, without a single match being cancelled, I mean, EPL is suffering a little bit. Tennis has suffered a lot. Badminton closed down almost. But you've got this one huge tournament with foreigners in another country. And someone should give Ganguly and gang the Padma Bhushan as far as I'm concerned. I can't believe it went without a single drawback.
So true. And there were so many of us.
Yeah.
Right? So many of us in a city like Dubai, and there's just so much movement, so much travel. We were going to the stadiums almost every day. And there were so many of us. It's commendable what the BCCI, the IPL...
Were you scared, Ragini? But were you scared initially?
Yes, I was. I was scared.
And your
I was
hubby
very
and family,
anxious.
Were they worried?
They were fine. they were fine. They were okay.
That's not good. But the Pakistani attendants were caring more than Shreyas Iyer and the Kumar family and the married family and everything else.
No, I was very paranoid. In fact, there was the joke in the bubble that I was in. I was with the commentators and the anchors. So there was a running joke that initially I was so paranoid, I'd just keep putting sanitizer everywhere I went. Like I wouldn't, after every 2 seconds, I would put a sanitizer. After which I was eating salad or, eating like this and putting my hands, like, look at her. Look at the transformation. She was the most paranoid and now she's eating COVID snacks.
Who was the worst commentator in terms of fear? Who was the one who's cleaning himself all the time?
Nobody. No one.
They were cool.
No one. They were really cool. They were very calm. They were very collected. And everyone was talking about the same thing. The success of the IPL, how there's been no case, how everyone's just behaved themselves. Everyone was disciplined.
And I thought at least one match would get cancelled with 2-3 players last minute getting it. Honestly, come on, 6-7 weeks here.
You're right. There was always this scare. There was always this.
Chennai had that problem in the beginning, if you remember.
Yeah,
so I thought, come on, in 6-7 weeks, ek to hoga.
And then he became the star, Ruturuj Gaikwad.
Yeah,
right? And he became the star for CSK.
Yeah.
So,
it was lots of young batsmen coming up and bowlers, frankly speaking.
Yeah, Devdutt Padikkal, my God.
Yeah. So many.
What a player.
Yeah, and my what about Surya Kumar Yadav, who didn't get the cut? Poor fellow.
He's fab.
He had the tournament of his life.
Yeah, he's fab. He did so well. Ishan Kishan, my God, the way he played.
Ishan Kishan is young. His time will come. There's no way you can stop him. Between you and me, Rishabh has to lose a few pounds. So that's always going to be a problem. Between Sanju Samson and Ishan Kishan.
Yeah.
He's going to have trouble. But Surya Kumar is 30 plus now.
He was so good. He was just so good. In the final, and when you saw him cross his crease for Rohit's wicket, my God, I think that moment.
Ragini, वो नौकरी का सवाल है. Come on. He's just he's a good employee. He knows what to do. Yeah, no, but jokes apart, he was fabulous. I'm a big fan. Yeah.
So am I. Big fan,
anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to wrap it up and go to the AMAs quickly, but let's go back to the poetry initiative. And what is the first episode going to be about? Can you, without giving everything away?
Sure. No, it's called A Sola Bata Do Rana Pratap Bagh, which is the house I grew up in Old Delhi, older part of Delhi, and closer to Delhi University. And I talk about how I lived in a joint family and how it happened, what were the things, how did I spend my day, and it has a very interesting end. So it's my favorite. And every time I read that poem or think about it, I get very emotional because my grandparents are involved in it, in the poem. And I remember when I first wrote it, I want to share this with you. And I, went back home to Delhi and told my parents, I have something to share with you. And I was sharing it with them and some relatives. And when I finished reading it, their eyes were moist because, they remembered everything that I was talking about. They thought, my grandparents were no more and they're thinking about them and how we used to live in that house. So I knew it hit home. So it's something very, very special for me.
Maybe you've got that touch. I mean, you said what? Chitrahar, Nirula's, and I nearly started crying. Those happy memories that come back. And that's really nostalgia. What they say, that rosy tint hues or whatever the word phrase is in English. That color kind of, look, that perspective. I immediately got that Chitrahar and immediately thoughts come. Nirula's thoughts come. It's just amazing. So I can imagine on a personal level talking about relatives and the places they grew up in and all that. It'll be fabulous. Good fun. I'm very happy. I'm really glad you're expressing yourself. And so you have two sides to Ragini Kumar which are completely different. I won't use the word commercial, but one is, you're in the middle of the biggest Indian initiative in sport ever.
Yeah.
To begin with, and plus in the most successful channel, which has its own, pressing concerns for you, like from A to Z. Let's not even get into it. And then you have this side where you're sort of reviving your spirit and your spiritual self, which is great. Without doing narcotics. Kripaya dhyan dijiye, do not do narcotics to revive your spiritual self.
Just when I was getting all emotional about the whole thing.
I'm sorry. I'm just such an empty vessel.
Rubbish. Complete rubbish.
Yeah. Ragini, it's been great and welcome to the family. But now we have an AMA. You're welcome. We have an AMA section where you have to help us answer. Because you're going to get this as well. People who tune in will start, asking you questions. And they ask you, yours is a very personal journey. So your questions are going to be very personal. Mine are all over the place.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to an awesome, amazing, incredible week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. Why aren't you? You should. It's absolutely essential that you do. It's IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Another fun week in the books last week, and I think you guys should definitely check out some of the shows that we did. So first, let me tell you about Cock and Bull. We did 2 Cock and Bulls on Cyrus Says last week, which is, I don't think we've ever done before. But there was just so much to talk about, and it was fun. The first one was just on Trish, myself, and Cyrus. The second one, we had Abhijit Ganguly on, and that was a great episode. Do check that out. Check out Know Your Kanun as well. It's been a while since I spoke about that show, but Amber's been doing a great job on it. This week he spoke to Naina Sharma, a Canadian lawyer, about the ways that you do business in Canada and the challenges that presents. Definitely very interesting stuff. Do check that out. The guys at Naan Curry are doing some really, really fun stuff. Do check out their latest episode. They talk about roti, the simple bread, but it's got some complications to it. Let them tell you about what they are. Do check that out. Also, do definitely check out the Wire Talks with Siddharth Bhatia. He's been killing it, man. It's just a new show, but what great conversations. This week, he had Siddharth Singh on to talk about pollution. Do check that out. And you know what, guys? The best news of all, Simplified is back. They've been back for a few weeks, and I haven't called them out before, but remember that they're back and do check them out. This week, they talk about, does censorship make sense? Knowing the guys, I think I know the answer to that, but you should go check that out. And with that, let's go back to your show.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me. Let's welcome back Silvery.
Hey guys, what's happening? Okay, the first one comes in from Snehal. She asked a series of rapid fire questions. She says, hello Cyrus and guest. I found some really interesting rapid fire questions. It would be fun to hear your answers. Number 1, would you rather keep your current sleep schedule or hibernate for 3 months and have 9 months of 24/7 alertness without being tired?
Okay, Ragini, want to answer?
I've already had 2 months of alertness in Dubai. I definitely want
high
3 to
pressure.
3 months. Yeah.
I'm on the other side. I've gone through some sort of, like a bear. I don't need sleep that much anymore. I'm a restless sleeper. I sleep very little. I pee all the time. I suppose age bhi ek cheez hai. We have to accept it. So for me, it doesn't matter. But now I don't even look at the clock. I sleep sometimes 4 hours, sometimes 5 hours, 3 hours, whatever. Yeah. Like our Prime Minister, he sleeps only 4 hours. Most of the world's leaders sleep only 4 or 5 hours. But they have a little bit more to do than us. Damn it. One day I'll have my own country, Ragini. One day.
Yes, I'll cover sports in that country. Don't worry.
What do you? You've had the Ornob experience. You need to do something else now. She won't tell us, Silvery. Not a bad word. She comes from another culture where you don't this is Tamil culture where you don't insult anyone no matter how much you want to. Yeah, you won't understand, beta. You're too young. Bolo.
All right. The next one is what would be the best thing about not having a sense of smell?
Oh God. Traveling in a local train, which is cramped.
What are you saying?
Yes.
Home. I mean, now in the lockdown, sharing toilets with everyone and, being there morning to night, I've discovered all kinds of smells. Excuse me. Let me tell you, all human beings should get their own bathroom. If God was really fair, forget the room. You can bloody sleep with 8 people. But I think you should get your own bathroom. I think that's the only fair thing that society should give. One bathroom. I have a dream. One bathroom per person across the world. Ragini, what do you say?
That's a very good dream, an expensive dream, but yes, I hope that happens soon. I fully agree with you.
More fights happen with couples and with males, females over toilets than anything else.
My child, my 4-year-old child, oh my God. Sometimes he leaves the bathroom in a situation, in a state that I'm like, you can't use my bathroom anymore.
He's only 4. It doesn't improve. You have to wait. Ask Silvery.
Okay, the next one is what product would you seriously stockpile if you found out they weren't going to sell it anymore?
Oh, it's a good one.
Cup noodles?
Look at us. Food, huh? First, immediately. Nobody thought of anything non-materialistic.
Cup noodles for me.
For me, Tang. I feel thirsty all the time. Wow. Tang, yeah, Baba. I can't live without Tang. Yeah. Oof. What about you, Silvery? What would you keep?
Not toilet paper, I guess, because enough toilet paper nowadays. I don't know, man. I would stockpile. I can't think of anything right now. No.
See, and it took us 1 second.
He's too young. He's too young. Idealistic guy.
I haven't seen enough life yet.
Yeah, that's what. For us now, we know what really matters. My pillows, my Tang, separate bathroom. See,
but Cyrus, on the pillow note, I agree.
Yeah, man. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
I fully agree with you on
She's
that.
not here, so I can
Endorse it.
all these rules should have been sorted out before marriage, because living together is not about love, sex, money. It's only about control, and that's a huge issue. Who
Yeah,
controls that area?
It's about living with the negative of that person, all the negatives that you can live with.
Negative only is there after some time. The positive is only when you go to dinner together wearing nice clothes. Uske baad kya hota hai? It's all
When
negative.
you don't have to do the dishes.
Oh, I've done dishes also in these last 9 months, I must say.
Of course.
A complete
Right.
Indian. I'm the complete man. Aren't we all? Bolo, sir, next.
Okay, and the last one is, where do you not mind waiting?
Swimming pool.
Okay, wow.
Good question.
Hey, doctors should have a swimming pool. I always said, give us something extra. Indian doctors have this mentality of 5:30 baje ka time hai. And when I first went, I went to a dermatologist for a rash, I must tell you. And I went at 5:30. I took my daughter to kill time. Until 6:40, there was nobody seeing us. And there were 40 people in the room. More and more people kept coming. Finally, I started asking. I said, Johnny, time? 5:30. Arun, time? 5:30. Prakash, time? 5:30. Everybody's given 5:30. Then what the hell does this mean? So apparently now in India, doctors just give you one slab and then you come and you wait. And that's the way it works. It's not fair. It's a very unfair system. We have to change it.
What about Antariksh answer on this?
I wouldn't mind waiting. I can wait in my car for hours. Just sitting in my car, watching something. Listening. I used to bunk college and spend the entire day just sitting in my car with a friend.
You learn so much more in the car.
Just nothing. Just sitting in the car. We go to places, eat, come back in the car and eat. Just
He's a
sleep in the
typical
car.
Punjabi boy from Powai. They're a different breed altogether.
Yeah.
You have to add karobar to it, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Karobar. He was underage at that point.
I think my answer is very cliche, but I don't mind waiting at a cricket stadium or at anywhere that.
But if there's no match.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I love being at a stadium or even at a hockey stadium or a badminton court. If I know I'm there for work or maybe not, I just love being at a stadium or court.
I think if it's a stadium, I want to be in a stadium abroad where there's less crowd and they don't touch you or push you and there's food and drink everywhere.
I was just going to say that, and you can buy your own beer while watching.
And that's not an issue. Here, too, sometimes getting in and out, my God, you mated with 11 men by the time you reach inside.
Oh, God. And Firozshah Kotla is the worst.
Firozshah Kotla. And the cricket is always terrible also. Because the ground is so small, everybody's on.
Worst experience getting into that stadium. Anyway.
Chalo, we are debarred from Delhi. Famous producer takes on Firozshah Kotla. DDCA goes berserk. And you give your address also, Rana Pratap Bagh. Everything is there. First episode.
We don't live there anymore. So,
But they can trace you, na?
They can.
यहाँ पे कौन रहता था उनका नया एड्रेस क्या है like that.
All right, sorry.
It?
We done?
Yeah, we have one more if you
Okay, quickly.
Okay, sure.
2 minutes.
Next one comes in from Falguni Shah. She says, hello Cyrus and guest. I'm Falguni Shah from Surat, a regular listener of the show. Wanted to ask, if it was announced tomorrow that aliens are in fact real, what would your next 24 hours be like? Would you fret and panic about it? Or would you just go aliens? Okay, cool. And then go about
alien will have to save the Hindu or Muslim. These are many issues they have to answer. Brahmin hai ya Brahmin nahi hai. I mean, in India, you can't just walk and say alien. Alien mein kuch
Veg,
nahi.
non-veg.
Exactly.
Vegetarian and non-vegetarian.
Short pants, long pants. We have lots of issues in India. Please clear them. The alien is the least problem, I think, of the lot. What do you say, Ragini?
I just hope they come with something that can. Again, I'm going to give you a very idealist answer, but that's what's coming to my mind. I hope if aliens do come, they have a solution for air pollution and air quality.
Yeah, at the very least.
Will the aliens be pro-Arnab or anti-Arnab? What do you feel? Come on.
I think they'll take him as one of their own and just leave.
They'll start praying and
they'll start speaking that language. It'll be very different. They wouldn't know what to do. They'll be flummoxed.
Oh God, yeah. I just thought of it. What if Arnab is the first human they encounter when they come to Earth?
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Aliens gone. Aliens gone. Aliens run away. Okay, excellent. All right, so let's wrap it up here. Ragini, thank you so much for being on the show. And
thank you.
Now we'll all get to visit and listen to your innermost thoughts and secrets.
Thank you, Cyrus.
For the next forever, I hope. Let's see.
Yeah, it drops all together. It drops all together.
But one last question, cricket question. India, Australia, who's going to win the test series? Without Virat, without Rohit Sharma for 2 at least?
We will. India will.
Still?
Yes, we will.
Batting कौन करेगा? Cyrus Brocha और Silvery?
नहीं है ना, केएल है, श्रेयस है, करेंगे सब यार.
That's white ball, Baba. White ball. His test average is 34. I'm a little worried.
Don't worry. We'll manage.
All right. Chalo. See you guys.
Doesn't matter. See you. Thank you, Cyrus. Thanks, Antariksh. I don't know why you're called Silvery though. I'm curious. I shouldn't have it.
Come on, tell. I'll wait 1 minute.
Okay. So the first episode I ever did of Cyrus Says with Cyrus as buddy. So I happened to tell him that when I was born, at home my brother's called Goldie and I'm called Richie. But the option was that when I was born, they were either debating between Richie or Silvery. And I don't know why I told Cyrus this. First episode I ever recorded with him. My idiocy. I blame myself. So that's it.
Big mistake. Yeah. Richie is nothing. Silvery is so beautiful. I love Silvery.
Richie Beno.
Yeah, Richie Beno. Fair enough.
But
wow,
Silvery.
You know cricket. I must say. What are you, producer?
I'm waiting to be on land so soon. Huh?
Wow. We'll have fun.
Just plugged it. Yeah.
We'll have fun.
Plugged it like that. See you guys. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.
Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps, please. We beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter, on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे पॉडकास्ट लगते हैं. नाम है फुटबॉल शुटबॉल.
Presenting Football Shortball, a show about three friends discussing our favorite game over a beer. Sometimes 3, maybe even 5. Hi, I'm Shiva, and with me are my 2 sidekicks, Gaurav Sapre and Karthik Iyer.
Sidekick? You mean like Batman's Robin or Van Persie Robin?
No, I mean like Alexis Sanchez, but with a little more skill than just playing the piano.
Just shows how the best players at Arsenal are mere bench warmers at United.
Oh, thank you, Iyer. But you're a Fulham supporter, so whenever you say anything to support me, I question my beliefs.
Just like how Griezmann would say, एक बार मैंने जो decision ले लिया, तो मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता.
Banter aside, we will talk match reports, transfer rumors, top controversies, fantasy football picks, and so much more. So grab a beer and tune in to Football Shootball every Wednesday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you have a night routine? Well, everyone has one. And the to-do list usually looks like this. Brush your teeth, set that alarm, get into your pajamas, and switch off those screens. But here's one more to add to that list. Tune into the Positively Unlimited podcast for a dose of positive action and tips on how to build powerful mindsets. Episodes out every Monday on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you tune into podcasts.